Hello channel viewers, I'm DS, your psychologist, and welcome to another episode on channel NITT. Have you ever come across an individual and pondered whether this individual is an INFP or an ISFP? You just know that this person must have FI as a dominant function, but you can't make up your mind whether this person uses NE or SE. So as a psychologist and tarot reader, many of my clients are actually the SFP types or the NFP types. Quite a lot of them. But it is the ISFP and the INFP that actually stands out because FI as the dominant function is very hard to miss. So whether you are an ISFP or an INFP, you use FI as the dominant function. So similar characteristics between the ISFP and the INFP by virtue of FI dominant is 1. You tend to be shallow. Sad to say, but why is this so? Because you tend to focus on the immediate results. Many of my clients over here want immediate results. They cannot delay gratification. Many would ask me, can you perform black magic? Can you do something about it so that he loves me back? Or can you get rid of the third party? So another characteristic of FI dominant function users is that they tend to be very subjective based. So many things are based on feeling, based on what I feel, instead of basing it on logic or basing it on what the consequences are. In fact, I think FI users sometimes don't think about logic or consequences. I have clients who did a reading and they were told that there is a third party in the relationship. The curious thing is many of these clients actually end up telling their boyfriends, please, I know that you have a girlfriend. You won't have a good outcome with the person. I suggest that you leave her. This is a very serious problem actually. Why? Because if you had such information, would you want to tell your boyfriend or the man that you are interested in this information? What would he think about you? That is one thing. Another thing is, if I ask you, if you are so in love with somebody, to leave that person, would you do so? You won't. Why can't you think from the other person's point of view? I think the FI dominant function really has this problem whereby they are unable to think from other people's point of view. They are also unable to think of consequences. So FI dominant users can be very impulsive because once they get the information, they just act on it. I do have INFP clients and they also tend to act on it, which makes me sometimes wonder whether they are INFPs or ISFPs, because ISFPs are far more impulsive and far more willing to act on it. Sometimes INFPs, after they have decided on something, they will just go for it. You might think that INFPs are always having dilemma, they have difficulty making a choice, but sometimes they don't. So sometimes I may have typed a client as an INFP, then when she returns again, I would wonder whether I have mistyped. So here are some clues or hints whether somebody might be an ISFP as opposed to an INFP. So this can help you to distinguish an ISFP or INFP. Not foolproof, but may really help you. First, INFPs are more contemplative, while ISFPs are more decisive. In fact, INFPs really cannot make up decisions on very small things. INFPs are also likely to be less aggressive. So when you scold them, they would wonder, why did he scold me? Or why did she scold me? So I have to scold my clients for being stupid or making irrational decisions. They do not rebut. But if I do tell an ISFP that what they are doing is quite illogical or stupid, they might feel very defensive about it. So put it in another way, ISFPs tend to be more reactive, INFPs are not reactive. Well, something that is similar along the line is that INFPs tend to really keep options open. I ask the client to block or just ignore the person who is trying to get to them. This man is not good for you, I tell them. But they refuse to do so. They will still remain in contact. But ISFPs, on the other hand, are more willing to, after deciding that this person is not worth it, and really go about doing it. They do not have difficulty doing so. So ISFPs are more willing to burn bridges, but definitely not the INFPs. They just cannot make themselves cut a person off their lives. An INFP is more likely to multi-date as opposed to an ISFP. Why? This is because one of their characteristics is that they like to keep options open. So I have many INFP clients. They like to multi-date because they just want to consider having many options at the same time. It's almost as if I only left with one option, I feel so insecure, I feel so unsafe. So when one of the men that they are dating seems to be like missing in action or wavering off, they want to go online and find more prospective boyfriends. So this is a huge problem of INFPs. All in all, I hope that ISFPs and INFPs are able to delay gratification and able to see things beyond what it is. Because many of the times, especially for ISFPs, what they believe in is very superficial and sometimes very egoistic. So sometimes for these FI dominant users, their sense of self-pride or ego really prevents them from moving forward in life. Okay, I hope that this episode has given you some insight into the ISFP or the INFP. Do note that if these people are here for a tarot reading or for some psychological consultation, then they may be really going through some form of a problem. So they may not really represent the normal mainstream INFPs and ISFPs. So if you do enjoy this kind of a content, do give us a like. If you have not already subscribed, do consider subscribing so that we can bring you more MBTI and fun stuff. Okay, I'm going to sign off now and I'll see you in our next episode. Bye bye.